Welcome to Truth Behind Travel podcast. I'm Dolores Semeraro, and this is my weekly show where tourism, travel, and hospitality industry professionals meet to discuss and share marketing strategies as they reshape the future of travel. If you want to learn the truth directly from the leaders and the doers of this industry, you are in the right place. Before you dive into today's episode, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcast app. And while you're on it, go on and follow the show on Instagram and Facebook at Truth Behind Travel Podcast. Welcome back to Season 3 of Truth Behind Travel Podcast. We are having conversations that are shaping the future of travel with innovation, technology, and sustainability in mind. During this episode, we're going to learn how the experience of the Metaverse look like. What is the technology we need to access the Metaverse? How communication in the Metaverse will unfold, and how we ensure accessibility for the Metaverse so that our clients can find us. Beyond the proxies are real opportunities for the tourism and travel operators. What are those? Let's discover them together with this how-to, step-by-step Truth Behind Travel podcast episode. Today, we kickstart with one of the hottest topics across the tourism industry, the Metaverse and its applications for this industry. So, let's get started. Knowledge and awareness of the Metaverse are rapidly increasing as the supporting technology is being developed by high-tech companies and organizations. Whilst the public perception of the Metaverse is still in its infancy, those tourism operators able to tap into understanding its potentials for the industry and the future of travel will unfold a variety of opportunities. Imagine the Metaverse being a proxy version of your physical reality, an alternative or a parallel virtual space where you work, travel, and socialize. You might say, we already are doing that online every time we access the internet. That is indeed true. However, we do this by literally standing in front of our devices, whether it's a phone, a computer, or an iPad. In the Metaverse, virtual experiences literally take you inside the device. You do not look at a computer screen. You are in the computer screen. This is why Metaverse experiences are fuller and more engaging. Tourism destinations able to develop their digital twins, meaning an exact copy of a destination in the Metaverse, can potentially co-create a whole range of meta experiences whereby people's avatar can immerse themselves ahead of traveling. We're not going too fast here. Okay, let's break it down to some very basic steps first. First of all, what is the Metaverse? Okay, think of the Metaverse as an alternative space that in principle is virtual. However, it is a fusion between virtual reality, what we commonly know as VR, and augmented reality, what is known as AR. So it's a fusion between virtual reality and augmented reality. So what is the difference between the Metaverse and the internet, you may ask? When you browse the internet to share information, content, images, video, anything really, you do so by accessing internet from a device. You can work, play, entertain, research, study, and so much more with a device in your hand. So whether it's a phone or a computer or anything else in between, it doesn't matter as long as you access the internet, you browse the internet. When you enter the Metaverse, you don't browse the Metaverse, you enter the Metaverse. You do exactly the same things. You work, you play, you study, you research, so on. But the difference is that you are technically in the device. So, how do you access the Metaverse? Having said that, normally to access pretty much everything online, you have to sign up. You're using your email address and you create a user profile. For the Metaverse, you do not create a user profile. You create an avatar, a meta version of you that looks just like you want it to look. It can look exactly like you. It can look like your favorite star. It can look like a bear or like a bird, whatever you want. So what does one access the metaverse for? 30 years ago, when the World Wide Web, as we know it today, was made public, people asked exactly the same question. And today, what will be your answer? In time, as big tech companies are building the metaverse literally right now, when the metaverse space will be for everybody to use, we will access the metaverse just as easily as we access the internet today. And we will do the things we so easily do on the internet today and more. Now, let's talk about the relation between the metaverse and the tourism industry. Skeptical reactions have been already voiced. But let me start by saying that the metaverse experiences will not, and I repeat, will not replace real-life experiences. Just like accessing information and acquiring knowledge and growing knowledge from the internet did not replace going to school or college. We still went to school, we still went to college, we still get our degrees in a way or another. What will be replaced are the people that will not know how to work with it, or people that will not know how to harness the opportunities of the metaverse. When I was getting my metaverse certifications early this year, I was fascinated by the multitude of applications that the metaverse could have for the tourism industry. As I was getting the certification, I was already seeing these opportunities unfolding right before my eyes. And in a way, I was recognizing them as something that we already see happening today itself. And the difference is just we're not calling them metaverse. What are those? For example, think of the 360 degrees virtual tour experiences that were quickly developed during the pandemic, allowing millions of people to virtually access and experience, for example, the island of the Maldives or the Louvre Museum in Paris without moving a single step. Did this prevent them from traveling to the Maldives or to Paris when the opportunity came? Not at all. In fact, the possibility to have virtual access to their travel experiences ahead of the trip only cemented their willingness to go. Now, let's take a look at some applications of the metaverse for the tourism industry. Number 1, having a digital twin will increase the number of experiences possible that the avatars can have in the metaverse. What is a digital twin, you may ask? A digital twin is the exact replica of a destination in the metaverse and can be visited by anyone accessing the metaverse. Today, the most famous digital twins in the metaverse are the cities of Shanghai and Singapore, for example. In the near future, a person will access the metaverse to seek validation for their travel choices, wanting to have a deeper look at what the travel experience would look and feel like before confirming it. In a way, is what we're doing now with social media. We want to go somewhere, we want to travel to a specific destination, and yes, there is this desire that propels us to go for one destination rather than another. However, it's only when we browse the internet and we look online and we look on social media what our peers are doing in that specific location, it's only then that we really cement our decision. For a tourism destination, having a digital twin in the metaverse will be the only way for not losing travelers to other locations and maintain market presence. This takes us right to the next point, number 2. Can a tourism operator have a presence in the metaverse even if the tourism destination he operates in does not have a digital twin? In short, the answer is yes. A business can have a shop in the metaverse, an office, a place, anything that represents it. a place to welcome the avatars and offer a full customer experience ahead of their physical purchase, or, by all means, a metaverse purchase, which is also possible. Yes, in the metaverse, tourism, travel, and hospitality businesses will be able to sell their services and product purely to be used within the metaverse, thanks to the principle of interoperability, which means that customers are able to pay for what they buy in a metaverse shop and take it with them when they go somewhere else across the metaverse space. Okay, I know this is all sounding a bit abstract, but let me give you an example. Let's say there is a tour agency that sells tours and experiences across the metaverse of, for example, the metaverse of Singapore Twin. An avatar can purchase an experience by paying for it with a digital wallet, and then, thanks to the interoperability of the metaverse, be actually able to go virtually to Singapore and experiencing that in the metaverse. So, translated to real life is, imagine that is your travel agency, your tour agency, and that the avatar is your customer. Your agency sells an experience on Metaverse. The avatar buys it. Your agency closes a sale in the Metaverse. Then the customer is so excited that he can't wait to go to Singapore and actually do it. So he comes back to your agency physically and purchases the trip. Metaverse for the tourism industry will not replace travel, will enhance it. As a tour agency selling a product in the metaverse, you have an opportunity either to sell in the metaverse or to double sell, whether it's in the metaverse or in physical reality, or you give an opportunity to access the experience in the metaverse first so that then you can sell the real life experience. Your choice. Number 3. Work with creators to build your presence in the metaverse. Those building products and experiences in the metaverse are known as creators. And for a tourism organization or a hospitality operator, it is crucial to work with them to build their presence in the metaverse. Let's say, to break it down to you, think of the work of travel influencers and the work that they have done over the past years, just how powerful it has become and the incredible revenue that has been generated annually on a global scale only by travel influencers. So much so that working with influencers has now become the norm for hospitality brands and tourism organizations. Imagine the same in the metaverse. Through the work of the creators, professionals who will be able to establish and position your brand in the metaverse according to your brand values and proposition will help you position yourself in the metaverse. Where to find these creators? Well, stay tuned, because as the metaverse gets built, more creators will surely start popping up everywhere. Just like influencers became very popular thanks to the social media traction that they were getting at the time and still getting, more digital professionals today will become well-versed in the metaverse. I can already see job descriptions for marketing communications positions being revised and metaverse knowledge requirement added. Just like not long ago, I would see the job description of a marketing communication manager for a hotel wanting to have a knowledge of social media as a requirement. So it's all a matter of time. Now, with this in mind, I'm not at all implying that metaverse equals social media. In fact, metaverse will be more of an immersive, experiential version of the World Wide Web as we know it today. In many ways, we are already experiencing segments of the metaverse. For example, we have a digital wallet with Google Pay or Apple Pay. We already accessed or created virtual tours or 360s. We are slowly but surely becoming familiar with blockchains and NFTs. And we do showcase our brand and products on the internet every single day. Who is pioneering the metaverse in the tourism industry? Well, the island nation of Tuvalu in the South Pacific is set to become the first digital country in the metaverse. They are already working to create the digital twin of some of the islands of this island nation. And it's just a matter of time before this country will become the very first digital country in the metaverse. Also, the Korean capital of Seoul will also be developing a range of public services that citizens can access in the metaverse. And the nation of the Barbados has already announced that they are going to work to create a metaverse version of their digital embassy, accessible from everyone. See, these are just some of the applications of the metaverse in the tourism industry and what tourism destinations are doing around the world. We will be hearing more of this in the not-so-distant future, and I'm very excited to see more tourism operators joining forces and budgets, because it will not come cheap. Here on this space and on my social media channels, expect to see and hear more of this topic. If you enjoyed listening to the podcast, I encourage you to subscribe to this podcast on your favorite podcast platforms so you don't miss what's coming next. And believe me, you do not want to miss any future episodes, particularly on this subject. If you want to share your feedback, get in touch. Send me a direct message or jump on my website, www.doloressemeraro.com, there's a double S in between, and access more of the tools that I share there with my digital community. Thank you for supporting this podcast and for being such a warm and encouraging audience. I love you. Speak again soon on Truth Behind Trial podcast.